Happy Tuesday, folks. Today we're going to talk about landmines and trapdoors through the VA. Okay, so and when I say VA, I mean all things VA. So like, yes, there's a lot of different silos. So there's what I learned about the VA hospital is it's broken down into, I mean, not even every floor. It's like so in Indiana, you got hospital systems, right? And or most universities have hospital systems where one guy can make a decision for an entire system. Well, the VA is not that way. So I'm always talking to the 1% folks out there. All right. So I know this, and every time I talk to civilians or your families or something like that, you guys are out there scratching your heads going, well, wait a minute, I thought the VA took care of you guys. No. So there's always going to be a 1% of the warriors out there. All right. And I'm not talking about tier one and the top level folks and SEAL teams and stuff like that. Obviously, you guys are all included, but there's only 1% of us who are always going to serve our nation. So I'm talking to you guys. All right. And so what I want to tell you about is trapdoors and landmines, because nobody seems to talk about this stuff right now. And what I need you guys to understand, again, guys, if you don't know who I am, I was enlisted in the late 90s in the infantry, got back in, and after getting out in 2000, after 9/11, tried to get it back in a couple different ways, which are time for a different story for a different time. But I went through RTC, got my commission, and was selected one of only 12 to do medevac. So I flew medevac, long tour in Afghanistan. That's where I got my hat from back there. And so yeah, I did a long tour in Afghanistan, and over a 16-year period, did 10 years solid service. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with pay charts and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to let you know, and I've helped deliver, God's grace here, but I've helped deliver over $10 billion to the deadliest humans on earth. And that's why I'm putting up the picture and image in front of you guys, which hopefully you guys all see that. I may have to add it if you're not seeing it, but yeah, the thumbnail is my son and I being down at the Soft Week last year, at the 2025 Soft Week. So you can see a little bit of a sign, right? It's hard to point. Yeah, right there. So, and I go where killers are. I'm a little dude. Trust me, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I was trained infantry dude, trained to shoot people in the face, but I'm not that dude. So, but I go down there and hug killers, SEAL team dudes. And that's why I was putting these pictures up. I was like, you know what? I need to put those pictures up so you guys understand this. Anyhow, so again, God's grace been able to help deliver over $10 billion to you guys. However, so I've been around since before COVID. As soon as COVID hit, that was year one of me doing what I'm doing. And so I've been around before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, before PACT, during PACT, after PACT, before burn pits, after burn pits, all this kind of crap. And I'm just telling you the truth, guys, because thank God for Jesus. Jesus gives me the authority to tell you two things. One is call out bullshit, and two is tell you the truth. All right. So, and I love this line from Pastor Josh today that I was watching. He said, or actually he and Sean Ryan were talking, and Sean said that the most important person in the room right now is you. So whoever's watching this, God's got a plan for you. So I'm not looking for 1 million views. I love them, but like that one person, that little bitty candle, not volcano, there's always going to be that 1% out there. So when I'm looking up in the screen, I'm seeing people in here right now. You're the person that this is for today. So God's brought us together. He can talk to us through, or use the electronics to talk to you. So I'm talking to you guys today about trapdoors and landmines. And what I mean by that, specifically in the VA claim system, is there's a silo that does claims, and claim just means money. But then there's the other silo, which is the appeal process. And if you guys don't know, when I got my 100% permit total almost 7 years ago, I'm getting close to my 7th year anniversary of this. So I've been in this process for a long time. I was 90% for 5 years. And then I was like, oh, my body parts are getting worse. Went to the VA hospital. The guy told me to laugh me out of the room. Honestly, my own doctor laughed me out of the room. It's like, oh, go to the DAV Legion and stuff like this, right? Same story we all tell. And because what my doctor was telling me at the time in the VA hospital was that those two silos are completely separate. There's healthcare and there's claim, and there's appeals and education and all that kind of stuff, and feeding people and all that kind of. Every silo is siloed for a purpose, and it's to divide, and we'll get into all that at some point in time. Maybe not today, but what I want to focus on today, again, guys, is the trapdoors and the landmines. You can call them whatever you want to call them. But when I was, again, during my claim process, this was before COVID, I was aiming to go from 90% to 100. And the DAV was my representative at that time, and they wanted me to go get a sleep study and all this kind of stuff, and I just did not agree with it. So the VA starts calling me up to go in for CMP exams for this and other things. And I was like, VA, I don't want to do that. I don't believe in it. I don't think that's me. I think DAV is trying to make it easy on themselves. And so I said, hey, I need you to remove them as my representative, and I'm going to file a claim within the next couple months. And this is when the VA was still moving fast, only a few months at a time. So sorry about that, guys. Somehow we had a little blink. But the woman who's on the other side of that, her name's Melissa, and I know this for a reason now. So anyhow, what Melissa did is she shut off my back pay clock, my intent to file. And in her notes, it says, hi, Melissa, Albert's calling in today because we've been reaching out to him for CMP exams. He doesn't agree with DAV. He wants to remove them as a representative. He's going to file a claim next few months for updated process to go from 90 to 100 somehow. And so she typed all that stuff in there, and also said that she was not, that she turned off my back pay clock and wasn't telling me about it. All this is like not just clear and unmistakable error, as the textbook will call it. I mean, it's just tyranny. It's just evil. And Proverbs says there's three types of people: wise, fools, and evil people. And again, I mean, I'm not saying that to be judgy. Jesus says, judge them by their fruit. Well, that's some pretty damn wicked fruit. Okay. So moving on with the story. A few months later, I get my 100% permanent total. Guys, I'm telling you, it is a blessing to be 100% permanent total. There's a sense of peace knowing that there's right now money, mid-range money for your kids in college, long-range death benefits. And I was 38 at the time. So, and I didn't know all that stuff, 3 levels, because I had to create that to show you guys. And through God's grace, God's wisdom, been able to share those candles with you guys. But I'm waiting for that first check to come in, because I'm like, oh, it should be, I'm telling my wife at the time, hey, this should be like $12,000, $13,000 in back pay. And because it's taken about 10 months or so, and checking the bank account, payment 1 comes in, and it's only 1 payment. So long story short, guys, COVID hits, the world slows down. I apply for a high level appeal, denied. Deeper appeal, denied. Time is going on, and I'm not talking time like months. I'm talking now it's turning into years, right? And I'm still doing what I'm doing, blessed to help you guys. But I'm waiting. I'm going to say this plainly to you guys. I'm bitching to my clients about my own story. Hey, I can't believe that the VA is still sitting on my $13,000 from this back pay debacle, because it's such an easy win. So then, let's see, where were we? High level appeal, denied. Deeper level appeal, denied. Years are going by. I get represented by the VA, or I'm sorry, American Legion. Local American Legion has a legal group. So I get represented by, I think he's a lawyer. He's wearing a suit. We're on camera, and he's on Zoom. He's in a suit. We're in front of the judge. And this is May of not too long ago, believe it or not. Again, I started my back pay clock, my intent to file, in mid-December of 2019. So tracking, this is taking a while. This is taking years. All right, unpredictable, taking years. And what's on my website, though, the whole time has been 3 pillars. Now there's more. I want to help increase your predictability, your profitability, and your accountability. Because that's what good, godly people do, is that. So that's what I'm telling you about these trapdoors and landmines. I never want to cause drama with my clients. I want to always tell you guys stuff so that you know the drama exists. Okay. So as I'm helping you guys, I'm going through my own drama of like, hey, there is a sense of peace of having being 100% permanent total, but man, it sure is screwed up that they allowed me to get dropped some kind of weird trapdoor landmine for myself of this $13,000. So flashback to, okay, the story is now we're talking with the lawyer person and the VA judge, and this is May of whatever year that was. And she says, Albert, I heard you. I'm going to make a decision by August of this year, which is just a few short months away. Okay, great. Well, guess what happened? That August went by, no decision, no nothing. The next August goes by, and I don't know, did we get another circle in there? I don't recall. But my point is, in the interim, I start having my clients get represented by VA Accredited Attorneys. We're breaking down the bush, trying to find the great attorneys out there. And thank God we came past these guys out of Florida. That my clients are everybody has free will. But my clients and we are represented by one of two guys. And I happen to have Lawyer Bill. So Lawyer Bill, he's my age, a Marine, VA Accredited Veterans Rights Attorneys, all long title. So anyhow, I get lawyered up with Lawyer Bill. And Lawyer Bill does this behind, I also want to say behind my back, without me, with my permission, but like on my behalf, without my full, complete knowledge about all the things that lawyers do, because I don't want to know about what all lawyers do. So anyhow, he calls up the VA and he goes, this is in my head. He's going, hey VA, you know that, the 13 grand that you've been sitting on for a while? Yeah, you need to go ahead and pay Albert that. Roger that, time now over. Okay, good. So that's how that went. And then a few Saturdays go by. I'm saying Saturday for a reason, because I wake up one Saturday a few months ago and finally $10,000 is in my bank account. The letter I receive in the mail, the receipt that I received in the mail about a week or so later, is from the VA saying, hey, Albert, we paid you, as you see, this amount. We paid your lawyer this amount. Let us know if you have any questions, concerns. Mostly like they're not digging into themselves. They're not holding a mirror up to themselves. They're trying to hold a mirror up to like my lawyer of like, hey, if you believe, there are sharks out there. And so make us aware if there's sharks. Okay, guys, my point in telling you all this stuff is the VA itself is the biggest fucking mega, what's that movie called? Mega shark, giant shark. I don't know, Sharknado. It is the worst of the worst. And again, do I tell widow stories, tell you all about it? I don't think so. Okay. So trapdoors and landmines. My point is, guys, no matter how good, if I had a whiteboard, I'd draw this thing out right now. It does not matter how good the VA claim process is. There's always going to be, right or wrong, there's always going to be something that happens. Okay. And my goal for myself and my clients is to make sure that if there's a mistake, it's on the VA side, not on the veteran side. Okay. However, what I don't want you guys to lean on, because this happens over and over again. Look at this. Go talk to anybody out there. Go talk to the free stuff, VSOs, Legions, DAV, blah, 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 and ask them statistics. Okay. Are a lot of people being denied right now for a lot of stuff? Yes. What happens then? We go from the appeal side, you go from the claim side into the appeal side. Okay. What's the predictability on the claim side? Well, the predictability on the claim side is 3 levels of evidence, which Albert's clients have all 3, legal, administrative, and medical, fresh medical evidence. Okay. It's verified, validated before it's even handed over to the VA. All right. What's the predictability in that? Gigantic. It's awesome. Guys, I'm telling you, I can easily show you many playbooks. You guys qualify for the body parts. Like it's, again, insurance claim on your car. When your car, if you drive a Honda, you qualify for Honda level insurance. If you have a Mercedes, you qualify for Mercedes level payment. Okay. Same thing with our body parts. I didn't create these systems. You didn't either. I guess our government did. So, okay, I'm going to say God didn't. God does not like, as it says in Proverbs, God detests unfair scales, okay? Claim process, guys, just for yellow marker here is, I want to highlight that the claim process is predictable. Just like you go into a post 9/11 airport, it is that predictable. It's going to be a pain. You don't want to go through it, but you do want the outcome, okay? The legal process purple marker here just for effect. The legal process is completely unpredictable. It is currently not managed at any high level of anybody that's got any level of freaking wisdom. Okay. And I don't know. I don't care. My point is, I don't want my clients getting into that blender of unpredictable. All right. So my point in telling you guys this is for everybody out there who's watching, there's a lot of great people who care out there. There are doctors who want to help veterans. There are veterans who want to help veterans and so on. And they're all putting out content. Got it? What I want you guys to keep understanding is there's two claim processes. There's one for the claim process done right. And then there's the appeal process. One is more predictable and the other one is just a nightmare. Okay? It's a nightmare. If you want examples, I can go into widow stories all day long with you. Actually, go listen, go hear your own. I'm tired of doing homework for you. Go sit with widows and ask them about stuff and just have a heart to listen. Have a heart to listen. Have wisdom to hear, ears to hear, eyes to see. You're going to hear them, as the Bible would say, moaning and groaning. When does that happen? It happens when the government is horrible. Okay? So I just want to identify these trapdoors for you guys. It's not one single trapdoor, but it is a process. My point back to my clients is my clients now have since the past year has been terrific because we've now gotten connections with these two awesome lawyers out of Florida. You guys have free will, but I'm just telling you, the greatest lawyers out on the planet are out of Florida that are representing me and my clients. All right. And what that's doing is it's putting this Secret Service level hug around my clients. So what my point to you guys is, I have a sense of urgency for you today, but I also have to tell you the truth always, that although the government, the government's gigantic and there's 20 million new people out there and there's over $1 trillion a year that should be going to you and it's not. Well, here's the deal. That's like Jesus said, bones are still going to break here and hearts are still going to break. It's heartbreaking and it's crushing. I get it. Good news is there's good people like me who are putting together these Knights of the Round Table. So I'm still doing this hug here. Knights of the Round Table. I'm at the table because I've helped deliver over $10 billion to you guys. Again, God's grace. There's two lawyers out of Florida. Both of them are from the same shop. Guess what? They got a seat at the table. I'm now having, quote, tryouts and additions because I'm telling you, I don't just let people sit at the table. They have to meet standards, all right? My highest standards. So now I'm reaching out to all kinds of other folks. It could be VA home loan folks. Could be, what else we got here? All kinds of stuff. GI Bill folks. Could be VA folks at the universities and so on and so forth. Chapter 35 specialists and so on. Usually it's going to be civilian folks that can help out with that. Even though they have like a pool or something like I'm just thinking, VA home loans, both civilian and military control, government control. Anytime you're dealing with the government, there's going to be paperwork, right? So anyhow, but what I want you guys to know is with my clients, you guys have lawyers from the beginning. And I'm not going to say from day one, AI is like, oh, Albert has attorneys from day one. No, it's a process. It takes about 30 to 60 days in the first 2 months of you being a client of mine. You'll be lawyered up, okay? So lawyers from the very beginning. So no one out there is saying this. What happens next? Now what? How can I prevent you from getting into a different blender? Let's do it right the first time. Let's not go, oh, shucks, you know what? Well, whoops, I can't help you anymore. Let's get you into the appeal process to unfuck that. It's not going to happen that way, okay? Just saying the right and righteous way of doing a VA claim process and anything dealing with the VA right now, and it could be voc rehab, which is, the VA is just, don't get me started, right? All kinds of trapdoor, like a buddy of mine says, who's a youth pastor and also one of my marketing dudes. He says, different levels, different devils. So guys, all I want to identify to help with you is at every level, there's always going to be some new devil. All right. If you want, and there's a pastor out there who says every day you should hopefully, and this is what I pray about over every morning, help me bring some heaven down here to earth, not hell up. Okay. So I don't want hell in your life. I want to help bring down some heaven into your life today. That there are good people. It ain't a whole lot of us, apparently. And there's a lot of good information out there. However, I apparently am the only one who has lawyers around you guys, and I help I'm building my own roundtable, and you're going to see a lot more in the next few months about that. But I don't want, nobody's talking about what we don't want. Hey, I don't want you to go from the appeal process to the appellate process. Those are two complete, this goes from predictable to nightmare in a heartbeat. Okay. So I don't want that for you. And I'm going to give you a couple of closing items I want you to do. Guys, every day we're supposed to do something for ourselves and then for others. Okay. If you can't feed yourself, you can't feed anybody else. Feed yourself. God's the three promises, a new book coming out for me pretty soon. 3 promises. God's promise number 1 is your fulfillment and your abundance. Number 2, you've already served or you're serving now. So you've already earned a life-changing millions and millions of dollars. Nobody's saying that. They're saying, oh, hundreds of thousands. No, actually, it's a young guy like 18, 19, 20. You're probably looking at $6 million plus in your lifetime. And that's even just half a career. You don't have to retire. If you do retire, it's even bigger. Things like that. So right now money, mid-range money, long-range death benefit money. Nobody's telling you that because nobody can, apparently, except for me. Number 3 is now it's harvest time, which means you have to have a team to harvest. You have to have a team to harvest. And that's what it's in Proverbs, talking about harvest. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. So take today, help yourself, but then also fling seeds to others. I've got a new, you probably will see it out there in different places, but it's a new thumbnail that says your next steps are. So get on my calendar and then tell others. So guys, I'm just saying, man, we know what to do. We know how to buddy check. We know how to buddy check. Buddies out there, you guys are worth a lot of money. We're supposed to come together to help each other. And I've been around for almost over 5 years, going on 10 years. I'll say it that way. And I've been 100% permanent total myself. I'm just about to hit the 7-year mark. And if you think people are 100% permanent total or just got all easy, it's easier. It's a blessing. I'm telling you, yeah. But the thing is, you guys have earned that money yourself. And the VA's plan is only to get worse in different ways. And I call it the rotisserie fuckery. So again, landmines, rotisserie fuckery, VA's not going to change because they're just that evil. But and there's people bigger than me and entities bigger than me, God's bigger than me to help flame those babies out. However, for you folks who are listening, a small handful of people, you're here for a reason. You 1 and 2 that are popping up and sticking around, you're the 1. You're the 2. Get on my calendar. Get on my calendar today. Get on my calendar today. I've got a 24-hour block on my calendar. And so you'll press a button to get on for tomorrow or whatever. But all right, guys, God bless. We'll talk soon. Take care.